Any further discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
Next item I have, actually I moved that order here, is to, well, in your packet you'll see 2 resumes for, to hire 2 part-time EMTs. And that is to appoint Kyle Cromer, to hire part-time EMTs Kyle Cromer and Thomas Gauntner. I'll place that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Labenberg. Discussion?
Yes.
If you could just add the hourly rate to your motion, please.
Yes, that's what I had in front of me, and now I can't.
$12.83 an
There
hour.
we go. 12.84.
83.
83. And both of those are at a rate of $12.83.
Mr. Labenberg,
So
you'll
amended.
amend. Thank you. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
Next item I have is the Lions Club had asked if they could put up welcome signs that denote that there is a Lions Club in the borough of Emmaus. It was recommended that we permit that the Emmaus Lions Club place a signage at locations approved by the zoning officer and public works director, with the Lions Club paying for the cost to install the signs. And I'll place that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Labenberg. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
And my final item is, most of you saw that the bid specs that came in for the roof project for here at Borough Hall and also at the pool. They were considerably higher than what we had expected, and we'd like to put them out to bid again, correct?
We were going to.
Did I miss something?
Yes.
Okay.
They are in your minutes, right?
Yeah.
We did go through that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. No. I understand that it's to hire a consultant, but don't we have to
No.
put that in the formal? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm good. I just thought it had to be done. It was just a wording question. So it placed in the form of a motion to recommend to council for official action to not rebid the roof specs, complete the work in the bathhouse, and hire Haverstump Home Improvements as professional consultant to assist the completion of both projects. Place that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second?
That's a long motion.
It is.
Second by Mr. Labenberg. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
Sorry, I thought we still had to bid that out, but now I
No,
understand
it's a professional service. What's going on is we're going to be doing the work in-house. We're buying the materials. We're going to save about $42,000 by doing it ourselves. But we need a professional rubber roof installer to help guide us through that process of making sure that we still keep the material warranty and the work warranty on it. So,
Perfect. That's all I have for progress.
Thank you. Budget and Finance, Mr. Holzhauer.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilbert. First on my agenda would be the bill list. That is Resolution 2014-34, and I will read that resolution for you. Resolution 2014-34, resolved by Borough Council to authorize payment of the September 2, 2014 bill list as follows. Bill list $376,277.14. Payroll number 17, $138,804.83. Payroll taxes, $45,791.48, for a total of $560,873.45, done the 2nd of September, 2014. And I'll make that into the form of a motion.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Shubsta. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
I have a few other items this evening to discuss. The next would be the vehicle lift. At the Public Works garage, the maintenance garage, the vehicle lift broke, which would require installation of a new master cylinder, which was going to cost us at least $8,000 to replace something that is outdated. So instead, we looked at a safer, more effective lift, which would be a ground lift instead of an in-the-ground lift. To do that, it would also be movable, so if we would have to move it somewhere, we would have that ability, which we have not had before. To do this, we believe it's smarter to buy a new lift than to put $8,000 into an outdated piece of equipment. And we had Mechanic get us 3 bids. Those bids came in with rotary lift for $16,163.31, automotive lift specialist $15,430, and Napa Automotive $16,018.78. They are all the same. They have a lift weight of 18,000 pounds with movable jacks with lift weight of 9,000 pounds. So it is the recommendation of this committee that we purchase a lift from Automotive Lift Specialist for $15,430. That does not include electrical wiring or removal of the old lift and concrete work, which our employees will do in-house. So I would make it into a motion to purchase a lift from Automotive Lift Specialist.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Shubsta. Discussion? Mr. Barrett?
What did you want?
I just missed that to pay for it, the cost will be split over water, sewer, and general fund, each paying a third of the cost.
All right.
Sorry about that.
That was
Mr.
one of my
Barrett.
questions. And then the second is, does it improve what we can do with the lift? I know that we've run into, because of the height of the building, does it sit any lower that we gain a little bit, or pretty
No.
much exactly the same?
I think it will improve efficiency because of the way it works and how they can position a truck to be able to do it. If we would run into a height problem, we could do the job somewhere else
Okay.
because this is a movable lift.
This will be the 3rd time we put a new cylinder
Yeah.
into that underground lift. So the question was, because it was built 1972 or whenever the lift was installed, which was more cost effective?
Oh, this sounds
Having
like
to-
the way to
Like
go.
new
I mean, I've
technology.
seen the lift down there, and I think this is a good way to go. I just wanted to see if it also gives us some flexibility, and it sounds like it does. If we needed to move it, it could be, and then we could do the work outside. I'm assuming that we could lift it
No,
higher?
it's not exactly a mobile lift. Like it's not. I mean, it's very heavy. And it's
Yeah.
hydraulic. It's electro-hydraulic. What it does allow you to do, though, is if for some reason you want to change buildings
Right.
in the future, you can actually remove the lift and take it with you.
Okay.
Whereas the in-ground lift, you wouldn't have been able to do that.
Okay.
Mr. Anderson?
My only question is regarding the cost. You said it's over to 3 different categories. Is that something that we have in the budget enough for now, or is it something we have to wait until the new fiscal?
Well, you don't have a choice. To be very honest, at the end of the day, if you want to go pay somebody $120 an hour to fix our vehicles, that's what would end up happening. Because
Okay.
it's for the big vehicles, so it's the street
Right.
sweeper, all the big dumps.
So we need it now.
He has to have it to
No matter
operate.
what.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of. And the ironic thing is, we inspected this thing. Like we had an
I
inspector
read that,
come in
right.
literally 7 days before this happened.
And the new one, I'm sure, comes with warranty on everything.
Yeah, there's warranty. I forget what it is on there, but there's a warranty on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where no, we didn't budget it. That's not something we
Right. It's
anticipate.
darn.
We're going to have to find the money, and we're going to have to redirect some funds.
It's one of those ways that we've in the past worked here is wait till things wear out to get a new one instead of being forethinking and buying things before they wear out.
Hence why we're working towards future.
Capital plans and yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one to swallow,
It's,
but
yeah, especially right now.
what is it? It's a necessary evil.
Gotcha.
Mr. Leidenberg, did you want to make a comment?
No.
Oh, I thought you had your hand up. All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor? There's 7 ayes.
All right, next would be the ambulance uniforms. The ambulance corps has chosen their new uniform. They will no longer look like police officers. They will be professional-looking paramedics and EMTs. There happens to be a bid in your packet that gives you a general idea. The company we'll be purchasing from is Patriot Workwear. The plan is to get 3 uniforms for all full-time employees, 1 for each part-time employee. The total cost should be $3,185. Because we've never expended the funds for EMS week, within this calendar year. We'll first take those funds that were planned for EMS week, use those, and then the rest of the uniform budget will meet the needs of that cost. So I'd like to make a motion to purchase uniforms for the ambulance corps from Patriot Workwear for a cost of $3,185.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Shribster. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
And I believe that is it for me. Progress.
Thank you. Community Relations, Planning and Development, Mr. Brown.
I'll report progress, nothing to report for tonight. Our next meeting is September 9th, Tuesday at 4 p.m. here in council chambers.
Thank you. Personal Appeals Part 2. Anyone with a personal appeal, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
Hi, my name is Lynn Donchis, and I live at 559 Minor Street here in Emmaus. My comments are relating to the geese. I wondered, is there an ordinance against feeding the geese?
Yes.
And there's a
Yes, there
fine.
is.
There's a
Yes.
fine related to that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So my suggestion would be to put signs up at the park. Currently, there is just a very small, very faded sign that says, "Do not feed the wildlife." I've been to other communities where the signs are prominently posted that give the ordinance number and the fine if you are caught feeding the geese. And I thought perhaps that would also curtail the geese coming back if they're not fed. And I understand that that would need to be policed and you'd have to catch them and all people feeding them and so forth, but I think there's something about having an ordinance and a fine prominently placed that might be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else with a personal appeal? Borough Manager's Report, Mr. Pepe, what do you have for us this evening?
On your desk is one more application for employment for Mr. Charles Sabo. I interviewed him this evening prior to council. Mr. Sabo works at St. Luke's Hospital as a full-time EMT. He worked at the Northeast PA Lions Eye Bank, which we won't talk about what he did, but I can tell you that he can deal with some of the more severe cases. We need probably several more part-time EMTs. I mean, this is to fill shifts. I mean, one of the problems that we have, the same issue every department's having, is we do 12-hour shifts, and the 29.5-hour rule means that our EMTs can only legitimately work 2 shifts a week, which is 24 hours. So, whereas they've been traditionally able to work the 36 up until we started last year. So we're still trying to fill those shifts. Hopefully, we're getting close. Mr. Sabo can work pretty much any shift in at least 2 days a week. So I recommend hiring him.
Is there a motion to that effect? Motion by Mr. Lavenberg, second by Mr. Barrett. Discussion?
Just,
Mr.
Shane, how
Anders?
many openings do you think we have?
It's not about the number. Like I need 10 people. The problem with the whole EMT world is when you have part-time employees,
Right.
they work at 10 different places because nobody wants to pay the benefits, including the Borough of Emmaus, which
Right.
for a lot of reasons. I mean, there's a lot of cost to that. So what happens is when they're working 5 or 6 different jobs, they're working Wednesdays here, Tuesdays here, Thursdays there. So you get this one person that you've had for 5 years, they can work Saturday night shift, and that's it. So what we're dealing with is, and then if somebody else offers them a few more hours than what we offer them, they're going to take that because we all pay about the same. The 1283 is a pretty standard pay. So really it comes down to, like right now, we're not be able to fill day shift EMT hours, and I do not want to fill that with paramedic overtime hours. So So right now, the hole is in people that are available to work during the day. So really, it depends on where our gaps are and where these people are working in other places.
Mr. Brown?
Question for you, Shane. Do you recall, have we talked about maybe changing from 12-hour shifts to 8-hour shifts?
We're in those
Feels like we're
discussions.
handcuffed.
Yeah, we're in those discussions right now. The problem ends up being, if you still do the math, you're still only able to work them 24 hours a week.
Right.
You know, I mean,
No, I
so it's still, like, you're still, the hours don't change in terms of what you're able to work them. Now, we do need to sit down and kind of put a master schedule together with 8-hour shifts and see what it comes out to. But you're still going to have those gaps of, if you give them an extra 8 hours, that's 32. They're over that average allotment. So, I mean, they're able to fill them here and there because it's on average for the entire year. It's 29.5 hours over the course of a year. So if 1 week they work 34 hours, that's okay, as long as they're not up against that 30-hour rule. But it's the 8-hour thing. I mean, one of the downfalls is still going to be they can still only work essentially 3 full shifts.
I'll see my comments here.
So,
Any further discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
You have your significant revenues and expenses in your binder. If you have any questions about those, please feel free to ask. Do we even look at this report?
I do.
Okay.
You
Because
asked if
I-
you wanted to get rid of it before, and we said no.
Yeah, well, because I've been asking for 2.5 years and
I tried to get rid of it.
not sure anybody's ever asked me a question on it, so that's why I was asking. All right.
I find it more informative, more than asking questions.
Okay. Progress.
Thank
We
you.
know where we're at.
President's business, I have nothing this evening. I do not need any executive sessions for anything, so, motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Barrett, second by Mr. Labenberg. Discussion. All those in favor? I got 7 ayes. We are adjourned at 8 p.m.